Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to be looking at Cardano, an asset that I haven't really talked about in quite some time. And now that the market for Cardano is calming down a bit, not to say that it can't go up any further, not to say that a drop is happening now, but simply if we just simply look at the tether, like the Cardano tether chart on Binance, we've essentially been moving sideways since the end of February. So we had all of March and now most of half of April at least. Essentially moving sideways in terms of a dollar value. We're stuck at between, you know, we're stuck at around dollar eight and dollar 47 for Cardano. The Cardano Ether chart shows an entirely different story. We see that there was the peak here at this level at 98,000 Ether. We see that that was the peak, at least the local peak for Cardano at this very moment. We didn't get above to this level here, nor did we wick above it in any significant manner. I mean, we did kind of, but not in compared to 2018. Um, I think that Cardano has another run in it, like a run, like a major run, within this cycle at least. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Probably what will happen, and this is just my speculation. We see Cardano, make this explosive move up. It retracts, it moves sideways, and then continues to move up again. So, most likely, if we were to compare the last run that we had, which was in 2020, we're kind of in this stage now where we're moving sideways. Now the question is how long we're going to be moving sideways for. Well, that's a great question. We simply don't know. It really is dependent on uh, um, Bitcoin and the broader altcoin market. But if we try to look at the Cardano and on the US dollar compared to Cardano Ether, we see that um, here, this is what I'm looking at. This here, the last time we started moving sideways in terms of US dollar, Cardano was back into this zone, accumulation zone on Cardano Ether, which leads me to believe that we won't see any significant price move to the upside, on the scale of this or just recently this until Cardano comes back down to the accumulation range of Cardano Ether. What does that mean? That can mean that the US dollar stays the same, right? But if Ethereum makes a run, right, like it's doing right now, it's up 5%. Um, Cardano will start being outpaced by Ethereum, and thus bringing this ratio down. So, uh, looking and reassessing Cardano, great project, great asset, one of the best performers when we're talking about top 10 coins. In that conversation now, you can have Dogecoin in there or Binance token, but Cardano is definitely there as one of the top performers. In fact, it's been a way better performer than Ethereum for that matter. But with any great rally comes the contraction and the consolidation and bringing things back to the mean. And for Cardano Ether, this is the mean. It seems that every single time Cardano decides to rally up, it will come back down to this level. In a bullish scenario, you know, we can interpret this as a potential support level here, but this was right after the 2018 altcoin bull rally that we had, and then for the longest time we were holding that as support. So, um, if you held Cardano and you were looking to trade it against Ethereum, obviously this, and I would argue this here, so this area right here would be some of the best points to sell your Cardano back into Ethereum, and then wait until Cardano comes back down on the Ether chart to reaccumulate, and you will have more Cardano than you started with, and that's just essentially the strategy with Cardano. Cardano is having some great movements. It also has some great accumulation zones. And you can argue that this is another one. It's hard to say that this accumulation zone is on the same par as this one because we're talking about a 13 cent Cardano to a dollar 20 Cardano. The returns are simply not there like it was back in 2020. We won't see those kinds of returns, I think, but that doesn't mean that Cardano won't rally. We can be talking about a $5 Cardano by the end of the cycle. That's entirely possible, and from here, we're essentially talking about another 300x, sorry, 300% move on Cardano. But that's pretty much it for today, you guys. Again, Cardano, such an impressive token, such an impressive asset. I can't say that enough. But there's a time to buy Cardano and there's a time to sell Cardano. This is, oh, sorry. This top region here is where you want to be selling Cardano. I would not want to be like accumulating Cardano at these levels, same as when I was talking about here, where we're having that rally and saying, this is not the time to be buying Cardano. Simply on a risk aspect. Now, if you have a stronger risk appetite or tolerance, then be my guest, start accumulating Cardano. But for me, at least, I will not be accumulating any Cardano until it reaches down this accumulation level. And that's doubly so with VeChain. I mean, VeChain is kind of lagging behind Cardano, and we just made this peak now. So, what's interesting is with Cardano, we could be looking at the future of VeChain and how it's going to react, and maybe it'll come back down to the mid-level point again and kind of move sideways until ultimately coming back down. I think that's essentially what's going to happen. I don't care, what the short-term analysis is that these two assets will converge back to the accumulation zone against Ethereum. Ethereum never hasn't had a monstrous rally. It's kind of had these short-term bubbles that were continuing to make higher highs, right? Higher high, higher high, higher high, and lower and higher lows. But we haven't had yet the explosive move of of Ethereum, like what we saw here. These explosive moves up, which I think we're in store for sometime in the near future. I'm extremely bullish on Cardano, on Ethereum, and again, I'm bullish with Cardano as well. I think at this point in time, though, now is the time to look to Ethereum for the move rather than Cardano. Cardano has already had its move. It looks to be retracting, and eventually, a few months down the line, or half a year, who knows how long it's going to take. But soon I will make a video reassessing Cardano, um, and indicating that we have now reached the accumulation zone again against Cardano Ether. If you do have a surplus of Ethereum, this is the best time to buy Cardano. Um, and that's pretty much it. That's essentially the name of the game for this asset, and the swells that come between these two assets. Cardano swells up, has an incredible Ethereum value, and then Ethereum will swell, making Ethereum the more valuable token, which you can then buy back into Cardano. And it's going to rinse and repeat. I think for the current cycle, macro cycle that we're in, if we want to call it from the first time Bitcoin has crossed the 20-week moving average of 2020 to the peak of Bitcoin, I think Cardano has enough legs for it to come back down to this accumulation zone, move sideways, and come back up. And this move right here, I think, is the last leg for Cardano of this macro cycle. We could see another run like that, like a third run. If we call this the first run, I would call it run one, run two, and then what I was talking about, run three, is kind of like what we have in store for the cycle. I just don't see it yet to have a fourth cycle. I think we can definitely reassess on the third run, if we're back down here and we come back up, and say Bitcoin is at $80,000, uh, and Bitcoin dominance is still at 52% or something like that. It's not lower, not in the 30s and 40s. Then I would argue, okay, maybe Cardano might have a fourth run in store for us. But at this given time, I think that Cardano has one major run left in it, and it's going to be this, and that run is going to constitute Cardano bleeding against Ethereum, coming back down to the accumulation zone, and then another rally like what we saw at the beginning of the year to February, and that run is going to melt people's faces, much like the 2021 has done, and that could launch Cardano to the $5-10 mark. As crazy as that sounds, I don't know if it'll reach $10. That would be very impressive. That would, pretty much ask for another 10x from here, um, which I don't know. I really don't know. But that's pretty much it for today, you guys. Talk to y'all later. Take care. Bye bye.